on a new journal. The kit that I'll be using for that journal is my vintage Bunnies and Wildflowers kit, and I'll leave a link to that below. But for right now, I am making some flip outs for pages in each of the 4 signatures. I'm using these plain envelopes that measure 4 3/4 by 6.5. So I've already done one just to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. This is a coffee dyed page that's in one of the signatures. So this is how the envelope is. I ink all the way around each of the envelopes. And so let's go ahead and do that now. I don't have enough ink on this one. So I'm just going to, when I put the print on, I don't want any of the white showing. So these are not part of the kit. These are some extra things that I'm doing. It's another vintage print. This one is going to go like this. So I'm going to ink around it, and I used my Decorative trimmer to cut these out. And they're a little bit smaller than the envelope, so you have a little bit of a frame around them. And there are lots of places on the internet to get these pictures. Graphics Fairies is a good place to get some. I think this is where I got these. But there are other places you can try as well. Raw Pixel, some of the like New York Public Library and things like that. But you can also do a search on YouTube for public domain pictures, and there's lots of videos out there that show you some of the sites that you can go and get these, and they're free to use. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. All right, let's see what I did for the back of this. I just took one of the neutral pages from the kit to cover this section up. I don't need these. I'm going to cut those off. All right, and then I'm just going to re-ink that. I'm probably going way overboard on the inking, but okay, so here's a piece of scrap, and I used Decorative trimmer on that too, so to be consistent, just going to go through here and just make sure all my edges are and let's see how much of this I need. You don't have to be super precise with this. See, that leaves a little bit of an edge all the way around. I'm going to ink that up. And just spread that out really good. Make sure all that glue gets to the edge. All right, I'm going to cut a little notch here because this is a pocket. Let me find my center. Make a little pencil mark. And then we'll ink that in. All right, so we're going to cover this part with book page. Now, if you're funny about, so when I open this up, the text is right side up. So let me get some book page. And this is going to go on my page just like this. Okay, so when I open it up, I want my book page to be right side up. So let's do that. I'm going to trim this edge off. Let's do it this way to be easier. And then let's figure out how much we're going to have to trim off the I'm going to do just below that. Let's make a little mark right here, and we'll do this side. Okay. Get myself oriented again. So this is going to, I'm going to glue the back of this and stick this portion down inside the pocket. I do think I need to take a tiny smidge more of this off. Just a little bit. Yeah, that's going to fit nicely. So I'm going to ink this up. And this is really old paper. So when I folded it here in the crease, it cracked. So I put some of my DIY vintage tape on there, and I'm going to have to do the same thing for all 4 of these little envelope pockets that I'm making. And that's fine. Okay. I'm going to tear this little adhesive thing off. And then we're just going to glue. This part can be a tad bit tricky, but just be patient. All right, let me squish that down really good. And then I'm just going to trim any little pieces that are sticking out. And that looks like that was it. Then refold it. And it's probably going to crack when I go back this way. I shouldn't be messing with it while the glue is wet, but I don't follow the rules too well. Okay. It didn't really crack, but I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on there anyway. Yep, there it did. Okay. I'm going to get some tape and get that on there. This is pretty sticky, but I'm going to run it through some glue stick anyway. Just try to center it over that crack. And burnish it down really well. And then we're just going to trim off the excess. This is a great little project to use up your scrap papers, your book pages, stickers. And it's a nice little interactive piece too. So you have a pocket here with a journaling card in it. And these are just made to fit the envelopes. They're not part of the kit, but you can do that as well. Just print one of the pages on the kit on some cardstock, and there you go. And on this side, you just have a little side tuck. I haven't put anything in there yet, but okay. So that's good to go. And on this side, another great way to use up scraps. What I did was take my little basket of these little thin strips, which have multi-purpose use. And I'm just going to start gluing that down. See, let it hang over the edge, over the top and the bottom, and we can trim that off. Oops, very brittle paper. Okay, let's grab another piece. And just until that whole thing is covered up. That's a cool piece of coffee dyed paper. And we're just going to collage these strips down and then get a script stamp and stamp over top of it. Easy peasy. All right, so now I'm just going to get a stamp. I think this is just some stamp I got from Amazon. I can try to find it. Let me cover this up just in case. All right, that's good. And then just trim that down. Just check it and make sure you don't have any loose edges. And you can sew around that if you want to. So now I'm going to take some stickers. Get this out of the way. Show you what I did on here. So on this one, these are just 2 little stickers I put on the back of the envelope. Let me see what I got. And they're fairly transparent stickers, and I think these also came from Amazon. And see, that's really all you need. And then, let's see. Put it on this way. So now we just want to glue that down. I'm actually going to take this a little higher up to show some more of those flowers. Okay. So make sure that sets on there comfortably. Turn it over, and we're going to add some glue along both sides and a little bit across the bottom. Gonna let that sit on there for just a second. Okay, so there's our little side tuck. And we always have a little bit of glue seepage right there, and I need to get that up. And then here's a little journaling card. I did not print anything on the back, but I did ink around the edges. And that just sits in there like that. I think we glued our book page to the inside of that pocket. No, we didn't. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, and so I made these journaling cards. I just took some shimmer cardstock, 67-pound shimmer cardstock, and cut that, printed these at 6 inches wide by 4 1/8 tall. And that fits in there perfectly. Okay. So that's a really simple project to do. Interactive flip in your journal. And so I have, like I said, 4 total signatures. So I'm going to do this 2 more times. But I just wanted to let you see how one of these gets put together. Okay, and also want to show you, this is the cover that I made for the journal. It's still not finished, of course. It's going to have a floating spine in there. But I made a padded spine, which is really cool. I didn't know how that was going to work. But anyway, if you're interested in seeing how that's done, I'll be happy to show you. The covers have just a thin layer of quilt batting underneath the fabric. And then the whole thing was wrapped around the edges. And then that'll eventually be covered up. Okay? But if you're interested, I'll be glad to show you how I did that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you have an awesome day. And I will see you and talk to you in the next video. Bye.